involved. No blackjack, no dope deals, no nothing. A nickel bag gets sold in the park. I want
in. That's what I'm talking about. Way to start today. And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gentleman of Crypto, episode 1302. Today is Thursday, February 27, 2025, and I'm King, here to bridge the gap between the community and crypto every day, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m.ish. And today's top stories: Blackrock Bitcoin Fund sheds $420 million as ETF losing streak hits day 7. House Democrats propose bill to ban presidential meme coins is being reported. U.S. lawmakers advance resolution to repeal unfair crypto tax rule. SEC closed investigation into Gemini with no action, says Winklevoss. Scammers use fake crypto jobs. Grass call meeting app to drain wallets. And former Congressman McHenry to join A16Z as senior advisor. But first and foremost, of course, let's go ahead and take a quick look at those crypto prices. And ooh-wee, is there a bloodbath today? Not really. Actually, if you look at the settlement price today, like right now, as it was yesterday, it's exactly the same, though that fear and greed index has taken a major dip. Bitcoin's coming in at $85,162, down 2.55% on 24-hour clock, almost a full 12.35% on 7 days. Ethereum's at $2,312, down 5%. Ripple at number 4 at $2.18, down 3.71%. Solana at number 6 at $137, down 0.66%. Number 8, Dogecoin, 20 cent, down 1.4%. Number 9, Cardano, 66 cent, down 2.4%, 15.8 on the week. And Tron at 22 cent, down 0.89% as well. Fear and greed index has taken a serious cut. We're down to 20 on the fear chart. I believe we were like at 34 or 30 something yesterday. So this is crazy to see it dip that low and Bitcoin still be at 85,000 essentially. Bitcoin dominance is at a 59.86. And I mean, be real, folks. Who called this one first before everybody, like at this point months ago? Ethereum dominance has finally slipped below 10%. It is at 9.9%. I just told you all. Expect, look, if this upgrade doesn't kick off here in the next few weeks and gas fees go down and that Ethereum DAO donation wears off, you're looking at an 8 to 7% Ethereum dominance, folks. It's over with. It is over for Ethereum. They need to have a great upgrade and promote it, like seriously promote it. I don't think it's going to happen because if it were to happen, they would not have donated all that Ethereum to help the gas fees right now. They would have been like, you all can wait another 6 weeks, and they would just unroll the upgrade and everyone would have been happy. But what do you do when you know your upgrade is not going to work, right? You give away free money and then you try to hire a yapper. Isn't that what they're trying to hire right now? A yapper of Ethereum? It's not looking good, folks. I literally said a few weeks ago before we even saw the real warning signs shake up, like right now, what we're seeing on CoinMarketCap. Ethereum it's a slow roll, but unless they upgrade, folks, it's over with. It is over with in the short term. These corporate entities, they're tired. They don't like to wait this long for their money, especially when their best friends are making times 10 on the meme coin. So we'll see what happens. But I've been saying this for the last few weeks, last couple months. I was like, don't be surprised to see Ethereum dominance start slipping. It is official, 9.9%. Ethereum dominance is probably one of the lowest I've seen in a while from Ethereum as well. So I don't know. Like I said, I think it's headed down to 8. It'll go back up to 10 for sure. It'll go back up to 10 before it goes down. But we're going down, baby. Now the overall crypto market, again, I thought we had more squeeze left in us up to at least a 140 before we saw a major dip. I don't consider this a major dip. To me, this is a healthy retracement. Again, we're still at 85K. People are calling for the 70s now. I can see a $79,000, $78,000 Bitcoin. And even then, that's still not terrible from what 108,000. Like off the top of my head, what is that? We're looking at what, a 35% pullback type of deal. So on par for course, I mean, honestly, but still not that bad. So again, if it were to happen, the positive thing about this, I think, is that we can see an earlier pullback and an even stronger bull market once it returns, or this is just some chop. We're going back and forth. We'll continue past one something, and then we'll see that real retracement. But either way, whether it happens now or later, it's still good, healthy market. The value of Bitcoin, I always like to talk about the value of it, not the value in terms of USD price, but the value of the technology is still there. Nothing happened this week that made the technology worse than it was last week. It keeps getting better. So as far as the USD price point, once again, that's the dollar being volatile. Bitcoin is alive and well and safe as it's been since its inception so far. All right, with that being said, I want to give a couple of quick shout outs before we get this show rolling. Let me see who we got over here. Who we got over here as I get my there you go. Gotta get my good drum roll. There we go. All right, I was just doing that stall time because for whatever reason the chat isn't working again. I don't know why. The chat's been going crazy lately. Let me see if I can restart this. There we go. There we go. Let me get this chat going. Let me gotta give a shout outs to the Warriors before we get started. Oh yeah. The chat is definitely not working today. I don't know what's going on. They don't like listen, they know when this show is rolling and I'm on my rants. They do everything they can to throttle this bad boy down. So I cannot see the chat, unfortunately. Let me see if I can pull it up on one other thing. Super strange. I can't see the chat. All good. I'm sure it'll kick back on in a second. I'll say my what ups to everyone then. First story of the day, though, kind of going with the price of Bitcoin until that gets ready. Blackrock Bitcoin Fund sheds $420 million as ETF losing streak hits day 7. BlackRock iShares Bitcoin Trust had just recorded its biggest single day outflow since launching in 2024. Now, a couple of things we talked about this last time saying, hey, was there more left to dip? Did they take out everything? Looks like they continue to take some out of these portfolios. But again, what I want to key in on is that they keep making it seem like it's not BlackRock doing it themselves, right? They're making the way the articles are written, the headlines, they're making it seem like you and I and all the retail investors out there are looking at BlackRock and being like, all right, move our money out this week. Again, I'm not going to rehash this. I keep saying this almost on the daily because it's what's been going on the daily. And that's essentially BlackRock and some of these other companies that have these ETFs are literally just rotating portfolios, right? So the last few weeks has been in Bitcoin ETFs. Maybe this next 3 weeks is time for it to go into technology or emerging technologies or environment or whatever else, right? They're relocating their capital. It has nothing to do with the end user or retail user. And for me, as I've mentioned many times, this is a form of market manipulation. No one's stopping them from moving $420 million whenever they want and please. And they know by moving that much money out of an ETF or just the news of moving that much money can cause Bitcoin's price to dip or to pump. So again, I think they're using that as a kind of way to do some of their own internal trading and wash trading with these exchanges. It has nothing to do with us. Again, if anything, this is the real price of Bitcoin right now when you factor in all the institutional help and everything like that. This is what it looks like when they pull their help, when they pull their funding. As I said before, probably about what 12, 10, 12, 15%. And we're seeing that. We're seeing that being reflected. So I'm glad that they're doing it. This is a good thing because it shows that the market is still strong without any of these ETFs. Without the ETFs, a bad day in crypto and everything else, we're still looking at an $85,000 Bitcoin. That is great by me. All right. So I'm gonna scroll through this article to see if they mention anything else. But again, this is them doing their outflows. They're mentioning another outflow on January 2nd. And again, here's the thing. They keep talking about these big outflows. The total right now is 756 million. It's saying according to CoinGlass, but that can literally change tomorrow if all these ETFs say, all right, let's just put it right back into the market. So yeah, I did see yesterday the low hit 82,455, $82,455. I knew that was gonna be a quick bounce back. I was like, everybody was calling for a $79,000 Bitcoin yesterday. I was like, it's not happening that quick. There's definitely some buy orders at 80K. But yeah, again, this is a non-starter to me. This will continue to happen for as long as it can happen. Once they get derivatives of the altcoin market, it's going to be even more parabolic because now or then you'll start seeing days where it's like $2 billion wiped off of ETFs outflows or inflows in one day or whatever. When again, just to be clear, all it is BlackRock pressing a button to say, move all this money here. And put it like this, it's literally you just saying, I'm going to transfer money from different bank accounts that I own, right? Maybe I'll put some money in my Wells Fargo account for my Chase account. Maybe I'll put some money in my checking account for my savings account in my Chase account. But all I'm doing is moving my own money. If each one of those accounts represented his own business, and I was telling people, oh, well, my Wells Fargo business lost a lot of money yesterday, but in reality, I just transferred 90% of my portfolio from my Wells Fargo account to my Chase account. Technically, I wouldn't be lying to you. My Wells Fargo account that business lost a lot of money yesterday. It lost a lot of money. It didn't do well. It's down 90%. I'm not lying to you. If I report that to the government, to financial reports and everything else, and to news and media, and they were to report on that, they say, hey, King's Wells Fargo business is doing bad, is down 90% today. That is a fact. That is a factual statement. What I'm not adding is that I own that account and I just move 90% of the capital to my Chase business account, right? Or to my Chase savings account. I'm not adding that part to it. So essentially, that's what's going on with these ETF stories and the price right now and the market manipulation. You're seeing BlackRock and their news media cronies say, hey, 400 billion or $1 million are wiped out the market today. What they're not adding to that is that it was wiped out because they transferred it to another account they owned. All right. It's not like BlackRock is losing $400 million on a Wednesday or Thursday, folks. Come on. They didn't become that big for nothing. So again, I think the market is alive and well. Even if they were to stop playing this game and to fully exit the market, I think it'll be even better, be less volatility here in the short term. But they decide to keep staying and playing. Oh, well, it is what it is. We'll continue to see these swings that are being man-made by them. And eventually they get caught out for the market manipulation, though I don't think that's going to happen with the new administration and the way things are moving. So again, it's another win for Bitcoin and crypto and for any business out there who's looking to do the same thing, because they're not saying nothing to BlackRock. They cannot say nothing to you. All right. Speaking of saying something, House Democrats propose bill to ban presidential meme coins. Oh, didn't I tell you all? Don't worry about the regulatory environment and everything else right now. They're going after the president. Like, I keep telling you all this. This is the best time in crypto history right now, outside of when nobody knew about it, of course. They're going after the president. They are going after the president. The war on President Trump continues. The Democrats have launched their latest attack, and that's going after more of his money through his meme coins. California, oh my goodness, none other than California. Oh my goodness. Boy, California Democrats said we ain't took enough L's in these last few years. We want more. California Democratic Party Representative Sam Liccardo is preparing to introduce the Meme Act, which would ban the issuance of meme coins like Trump by public officials. And as an aside, I just want to say, as being a California resident, like literally, this is what's wrong with the state. Everything that's going on in California right now, we do not need to be focused on going after the president again, except this time for his meme coins. Like, let another state handle that, California. We are not the state that's beating Trump. Okay. I don't know what is in California's water to make them feel like they are the state to beat Trump. Actually, I do know who it is. Californians have this weird thing where, like, yeah, we're making the country the most money. We got a GDP of our own, whatever. We got a GDP of like a fourth of the United States and everything else. So they think because of the much money they make, they think they're in the game because of the money they make. However, they forget that we have, like, well, one of the largest Navy bases in San Diego. We got a Marine base 30 minutes from there. We got an air base 5 minutes from there. We got another air base an hour and away from there in Lemoore. Like, I think Californians forget how much federal military are here to make sure this dream continues to be a dream. Uh, I don't know what it is. They need to focus on what's going on in this state, like homelessness and everything else that we have a problem with. But as I digress, the U.S. Congress is reportedly set to consider legislation that will ban the issuance of meme coins like President Donald Trump's official Trump token. To be honest, I don't think he'll care if this actually goes through, because all he would be doing is slapping the next few presidents. His coin has already went through. He's already made the money. He did, like, when you're talking about making like billions of dollars, especially, like, much less millions or hundreds of millions. You talk about billions. That's not a repeatable event. You don't need to repeat an event of making. Yeah, you don't need to make billions two or three times over again. Am I going crazy here? Right? You need to have that event one time, even hundreds of millions. That's a one-time event you need in your life, right? If you have it multiple times over, great. You can be the Jeff Bezos or even the Brad Garlinghouse of the world. But realistically, like, through averages, a human being is extremely lucky to hit 100 million or $1 billion event to begin with. All right. So when they're saying, yeah, we're going to ban presidential meme coins, once again, California, a step behind and a second too late. Like he already has launched it and made the money. All you will be doing is hurting the next president. Let's say the next president is a Democrat and they're like, hey, I can make the Democrats a lot of money through a meme coin and stuff. You all are essentially saying, nope, we're not even going to give ourselves a chance to do it anymore. That's how much they're spiting the current president. And again, makes sense. I get it. Whatever. You can't do crypto guidance to the low life YouTubers out there, right? When you yourself in the presidential party and the administration is doing their own thing opposite of that. So I get why they're trying to take this under heed and make it a law and everything. But as far as the damage being done, the damage is done. The meme coin has been made. The money has been made. He doesn't need a part two of this thing. He already had the part one and it made billions of dollars. The fix is already in, but whatever. Make it worse for the next one. They're going to call this the Meme Act. Again, this is the the House Democrats are preparing to introduce the modern emoluments. I can't even say the word modern emoluments and malfeasance enforcement act. They're calling it the Meme Act. Can y'all believe this? What world are we living in? We have a Meme Act, which would prohibit public officials from profiting from digital assets. California Representative Sam Liccardo told ABC News on February 27th. And once again, like, I'm not even a person in government and I can see the hypocrisy. How are you going to say a politician can't profit off of crypto or meme coins? However, you have the Pelosi's of the world and folks who are like, who was the other one that's coming out of California? Maxine Waters and some of these other folks, where literally they're like stock trading copycats following you because you make so much money in the stock market. People are saying this is unbelievable. The experts in the market don't make this much, yet the politicians do. They must moonlight as analysts at night. They must moonlight as financial analysts, right? But who knows how that money's being made, right? Who knows how the politicians guess so well in the traditional stock market and they're allowed to profit from that. But now they're not allowed to profit from digital assets. Again, the fix is in. Ever since that bit license came out and that rat face Ben boy went to go work for the private companies after he created the bit license, the fix was in, okay? People are making money on digital assets in the public sector. Public officials are making money. They will continue to make money. And again, I think they're doing this really just to spite Trump, but it doesn't make sense because it's already too late. They're saying this bill would apply to Melania's Trump's meme coin. Okay. So they're saying, hey, we might have missed the president, but we can get the main president. They're saying, let's make corruption criminal again. That is hilarious coming from any politician in America right now. Adding that the U.S. public offices belong to the public and that officials should not be allowed to leverage their political authority for financial gain. Again, it is hilarious they're saying this because we're going to be covering a story today where a politician did exactly that once again. The Meme Act, which is expected to be introduced on February 27th. Oh, wait. Is that today? Like, is that the February 27th? The day is supposed to be introduced? And this is what I mean. I love this democracy where you just wake up. Well, I always say Wednesday nights and Friday nights. You wake up on a Thursday morning and they're like, hey, we got a new meme act we rolling out. When? Right now. Well, I thought it was democracy and we voted. Yeah, we did vote. It will concern the president, vice president, Congress members, senior executive branch officials, and their spouses and dependent children. Liccardo said the bill has a dozen Democratic sponsors who are working to build bipartisan support. I do not see that happening because if I'm the president right now and you sign this bill, especially on my side of the house, word? Y'all coming for my money again a second time? Okay. Y'all didn't see how that ended. Like, here's my thing, too. I saw a fight video yesterday. I guess on Instagram yesterday was like a day to highlight all the negativity and fight videos. So if you're on Instagram yesterday and you realize you're watching a lot of violence, it was because it was intentional. It was like a day to highlight violence or whatever. And I saw this one fight video or whatever. This guy, he's a little bit bigger. As a bigger guy, I find like I was not smaller, but like for sure a skinnier, a thinner guy, but about the same height, however. But the skinnier, thinner guy was like bouncing on. You could tell Duke fight. He was bouncing on. He was switching stances. He attempted a Superman punch. He was already throwing kicks, and he missed the Superman punch. He landed like a shin kick, and he was just bouncing on him. And the other guy still decided to fight him, right? And within 3 seconds, the bigger guy who still decided to fight this guy who's moving fast and doing the kicks and Superman punches, he was knocked out. He was knocked out. And I left a comment that's going crazy on it because I was like, yo, like being like knowing yourself as a human and being ready to violently have to fight another human who looked like he was ready to bag up too. If one guy was ready to bag up, he would have bagged up. But you engage with a guy, you see him bouncing around, you see him try to do a Superman punch on you. He's landing kicks, and in your brain, you still say, I'm going to try to fight this guy. And you get knocked out 3 seconds later. Like the ego is absolutely crazy. I just want to point that out. The ego of humans are absolutely crazy. I point that out because, again, House Democrats, especially in California, and again, I'm in California, so I know a lot of them do like that BDSM for real. Okay, they're really into that. The Paul Giamatti from Billions, a lot of them like that type of stuff. So unless it's just like that weird S&M thing that they want to get their fix off of, I do not understand why they continue to like losing. Like at this point, they like losing. Well, why are you going after the president for meme coins? um, yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. Again, I don't see the bipartisan support happening because that will clearly be drawing a line in the sand super early into this administration, saying, "Yep, we're going to kick off this battle and war against you again." President has made it clear he's here for crypto. Majority of the country has made it clear, folks. I'm starting to talk to a lot of business owners in the background. They are gung ho on crypto and Bitcoin here in America. So again, I'm not sure the goal of the House of Democrats if this is going to be one piece of legislation or just the main thing. But one thing's for certain, two things for sure. They say if you work for the United States, we do not want you involved in profiting off of crypto. Um, and as I've already said, it's too late to stop it. So we'll see what else happens with this meme coin legislation, but they are making it clear if you are a president or someone in position of power, you cannot have it. Again, I would love to see if this continues, if the next president is Democratic and they decide to have a meme coin as well. Because here's the deal. You all politicians, like, let's be honest, like 98% of them are the same. And if they all see one politician make a new way to make a lot of money, which they did with the meme coin, with the Trump coin, they're going to copycat it. So I highly doubt they get this bipartisan support. I highly doubt there's no other politician in Congress saying, I could be the next president. And if I do, I can launch my own meme coin. I highly doubt there is no one or not a small group of them wanting to do that. Good luck to you, Democratic House from California, but I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. And again, maybe they like it. Maybe they like the pain. I don't. They're like, we just want to piss him off so he can yell at us today. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yell at us, President. Yell at us. I don't know what's going on with him. Oh, man, my chat still isn't working. Why is the chat not working today? This is crazy. I swear this, they like mess with me. Let me go back to it and try again. All right, what other stories do we have? In the meantime, U.S. lawmakers are still on a roll today. U.S. lawmakers were advanced resolution to repeal unfair crypto tax rule. All right, the resolution repealing the IRS law needs to pass through the House, then the Senate, and if successful, it can then be sent to the U.S. President Donald Trump to sign into law. Now, this is where you're going to see a lot of stuff become politicized, and that's if bills like this or resolutions like this can pass on their own, or will they be held captive uh, according to like the Meme Coin Act bill, right? So essentially, will we see this resolution pass easily because it's an unfair crypto tax rule, or will you see the Democratic House or even the Republican House say, well, you aren't signing that meme coin presidential act thing we just signed over? Like, so until you all sign that, there will be no reduction of crypto taxes, right? You sign this thing and make sure presidents can't do meme coins or politicians can't do meme coins. We'll make sure you get a tax break. Like, I want to know how this is all going to work together as far as the political side of the house. But as it stands alone, it looks like this crypto tax thing may be a thing of the past. And again, I keep mentioning this. I keep talking about this every year. I'm telling you, like, the way it worked, folks, it literally was like a Thursday morning, and some of these agencies woke up and was just like, I'm just going to tax the hell out of crypto, or I'm going to tax this agency, or like the SEC was doing, I'm going to extort these different companies and projects because no one's here to stop me or say anything otherwise. Didn't make it right or legal. It was just no one there to stop them. So that's all the IRS has been doing. The IRS has just been saying, hey, there ain't nobody who gonna stop us. We too big and we too bad, and don't nobody even know who to report to as far as our boss to stop us. We're just just parasitic organization of the government at this point that just can't be stopped. Well, again, we are in luck. Why? Because the head honcho right now is going through worse issues than all of us. Okay. His tax burden is about to be incredible. And the last thing he wants is to leave office after this 4 years and the IRS becomes stronger. President Trump has already said that 80-something thousand tax agents ain't happening. He's trying to make the IRS weaker, and I am all for it as an American citizen. For those who didn't study history, there is a reason why we're not British, and it has everything to do with taxes. Okay, so I'm all for this pushback on taxes. You know it as well as I do. Hey, I'm not saying we shouldn't have any taxes or anything. Like, I understand we got public schools, roads, and so on and so forth. But right now, this government has shown itself to have the ability to mismanage funds at a unprecedented level. So there's more taxation isn't what we need to solve problems. We need to manage the money and capital we are already taxed better. All right. And then last but not least, when you talk about crypto taxes, what were they doing before crypto? Right? This is still brand new. And it's brand new to the effect of the last 8 years. The government's really been looking at it. So, with the exception of the last 8 years, what were you doing with that? Like, it was fake, it was for criminals, there was nothing to tax. Let's keep it on that roll right there, where there's nothing to tax and it's fake and it's for criminals. Don't all of a sudden say, oh shit, y'all doing good for yourselves. Well, let me come on over and get a taste. No, 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 no. That isn't American either. But again, this is the resolution repealing the IRS law needs to pass through the House, the Senate, and if successful, it can be sent to the president to sign into law. This is a resolution to repeal the DeFi broker rule requiring brokers to report digital asset transactions to the IRS, set to take effect in 2027. The IRS regulation approved on December 5th would expand existing reporting requirements to include decentralized exchanges and require brokers to disclose gross proceeds from sales of cryptos, including information regarding taxpayers involved in transactions. This was absolutely insane to begin with, because for those who don't know, some DeFi exchanges, you don't even need an email, you just need a wallet. You literally just need a wallet to sign on and you're banking. So essentially, they're trying to say, well, we want to tax this platform too. There's nobody and nothing to tax. Somebody or somebodies were polite enough to make a website using open source material. It works as an algorithm and they leave it alone and it self does everything by itself. All right. It self liquidates, it self balances, it self everything. It doesn't need human intervention. And essentially, the United States is saying, well, if you can't figure out how to build a backdoor to still tax entity that no one owns, then we'll shut it down, even though you all can just start up a brand new one the moment you shut this one down. It makes no sense. It's whack-a-mole. It's a waste of time and resources. It's waste, fraud, and abuse written all over it. But that is what our government does. So again, hoping to see this actually gets pushed back. February 26th committee markup, the House Ways and Means Committee, a key group within the U.S. House of Reps that deals with financial issues, voted 26-16 to pass this resolution. So it looks like it will be getting pushed back, or at least passed on to the next desk to see if this thing is going to have a nail put in it. Not only do I think this will have a nail put in it, again, unless there's other political legislation plays at play where you see, hey, you don't sign this Memecoin Act, we don't do this. Not only do I think this will get pushed out, but if this current administration can garner bipartisan support or even enough support on just one side of the aisle, I see the crypto taxes getting another knockdown as well this year. I don't think they're going to wait till I see it happening this. People, all and you all have been saying, not me, you all are saying, hey, the new administration isn't there for the middle class, even though I don't think any administration has ever been there for the middle class for the most part. Maybe Clinton, because he was doing some middle class activities, but by and large, many people have already said, hey, this administration isn't here for the poor middle class. They're here to enrich their billionaire buddies. Well, guess what? All of his billionaire buddies are in crypto officially right now, folks. They are in crypto. And the one thing I know every billionaire buddy in crypto is asking for, even if you don't have a billion, everybody in crypto is asking the same thing at this point. Fine, we get it. The regulations coming, this is coming, that's coming. What can we do about the taxes? All right. Just nixing that or cutting that or making that a minimum burden itself can change the trajectory of everything we know about Bitcoin and crypto in the United States. If you could say there is no tax burden, a limited tax burden, or whatever, we're not even going to talk taxes in 2020 until 2028 when we're established again. But in fact, let's say the Trump administration did that. We're not going to talk crypto taxes to the next administration's in. I don't want to hear about it. What if he just comes down with that type of sweeping guidance? Oh, I mean, and honestly, it doesn't even need to be a law, right? The courts can push back all they want. We just need him to say something like that so we have a leg to stand on in court, all right? So it doesn't even need to actually pass. If you get anything like that, that will be such a W. That right there could push up if you want to pump the price, that could easily pump the price 20, 25% overnight. You say, hey, we're not worrying about crypto taxes right now. We're going to just innovate. We're going to keep building this thing out, and then we'll worry about it on my way out of the office. Whoa, wait, you talking about pumping the price? It is some folks on the sideline and his billionaire friends will be like, well, hell, you should have told me that last week, man. We got another portfolio to rotate over into this thing. So again, I think we're still early as far as our roadmap where we're going. But again, just looking at how things have already been shaped as far as him personally, what the government's been trying to do to him, and things of the sort. I mean, it's happening right now. They're like, you can't have meme coins anymore, Mr. President. All right. Well, once again, House Democrats, how do you think President Trump is going to respond to being told he's not allowed to have meme coins anymore? Like, let's just be honest at this point. And this is what I mean, where it's like neither side is doing what's best for the American people. You all keep messing with them and picking at them. Is not doing what's best for the American people. Not saying he is either, but picking with them and asking to take another loss isn't doing it either, because that's all this is doing. They're going to pick with them, say you can't have your meme coin, and think this is going to lay down. Well, what happened when everybody was picking with Gary Gensler? Did he lay down or did he ramp up the extortion efforts? All right. So, with that being said, I think the president is going to ramp up these efforts to protect his capital and protect his money. And one of the best ways to do it is go after the IRS. He's going to be like, all right, y'all want to keep playing this game? Let's keep playing the game. I think that's what's going to happen. We'll see what happens next. All right. Speaking of what happens next, SEC says, yes, we do like the BDSM. We do like S&M. And we love getting these lashes, and they're getting them. Oh, my. The SEC closed investigation into Gemini with no action, says Winklevoss. Gemini co-founder and president Cameron Winklevoss said the decision marks another milestone to end the war on crypto, but thinks the damage might have already been done. I agree with him. And again, I say to all these companies, I'm sure they won't, because I'm sure a part of the deal of the SEC closing this enforcement action, especially with this president right now, is no retaliation. I know how the game goes, right? Because they're not retaliating against the SEC. They're really retaliating against the Trump administration at this point, because it would just be another headache for them to be like, goodness. And I can see from their point of view, if I was PR for them, I could see myself even being like, getting on the phone. These people like, bro, all right, we dropped the enforcement action. Like, really, you trying to sue? Like, what else do you want right now? This is all we can do. And I will respond, I understand what's happened in the past. We weren't here in the past, right? That was what they were doing, but we're here now. We're trying to fix this. But you countersuing us is going to slow that down. So I get where the administration and where the government's point of view probably is. And even for these companies, I get it too. They're probably wanting to sue and wanting to go back hard, but that's part of the deal. However, I'm not gonna lie, it would be 50-50. You're talking about the Gemini, the Winklevoss twins. I would want to sue the SEC and the government. I would say, and I know how this works, if you were to sue, you probably be out of the crypto business in America. Like, the government would be like, all right, we're gonna give you this last check where you will never get a check here again from us, right? So again, that's probably why most of these companies don't. But I wouldn't fault any of the companies or be mad at them if they say we want to sue the SEC and the federal government, because yes, the damage has been done. You can't put someone under a federal investigation to where all of these people's peers and banks and everything else says, hey, we have to unbank you. We can't be your partner. We can't do corporate sponsors. We can't do any of that. Why? Because the government says you're no good. The government's investigating you. They're after you. We don't want to get investigated. We don't know what you're in. And the whole time you haven't done anything wrong. Not only have you not done anything wrong, you've been proactive as far as like, hey, what are the regulations? What do you all want me to do right? What can I do to make this better? And instead of receiving feedback, all you've been is stonewall. The government essentially be like, well, we're not going to tell you what you can do better. We're not going to tell you what you can do right. And we're not going to tell you what you're doing wrong. You're just going to keep guessing and finding out the hard way. Like, this is beyond effing around and finding out. It's worse than that. It's just living and finding out, right? Let's live around and find out. LAFO, live around and find out, because that is all the Gemini company and Winklevoss twins are doing, existing in the crypto space, trying to figure it out and trying to go through the correct regulatory process. And they kept being stonewall. That cost their business volume, capital, exposure. Like I could go on and on. So I do think someone needs to actually put their foot down. Like, no, no, no. Just to close an investigation isn't enough. We need proceeds at the very least. I would love to see the Veritasiums of the world and Library Credits and some of these other companies the SEC really slap down hard. I would love to see them come back and at least sue or get something back from the government and the SEC. But it looks like in the February 26th notice shared by Gemini co-founder and president Cameron Winklevoss, the SEC said it had concluded its investigation, and based on the information we have of this date, the regulator will not recommend an enforcement action. Shout out to the Gemini companies, shout out to the Winklevoss twins, and shout out to the SEC for taking another big fat L. I mean, at this point, how much taxpayer money has the SEC wasted over the last few years going after all these companies where they're just closing the investigation? I mean, the waste, fraud, and abuse. I mean, at this point, you're talking about the top of my head, at least 10 crypto companies with millions of dollars in it. And the SEC is being quoted right now. Winklevoss says the SEC costs us tens of millions of dollars in legal bills alone and hundreds of millions in lost productivity, creativity, and innovation. Of course, Gemini is not alone, Winklevoss said. That is one company. How much money did it cost the industry? How much money did it cost different companies? And how much money did they cost the taxpayers by doing these what do they call these banana boat investigations? I don't even know what it's called, these banana court investigations, right? Like how much did they cost the American people across the board? This is why I said from day one, this is as treasonous as it gets. You hurt and destroyed American companies trying to start something new. You hurt and destroy American taxpayers by going on these wild goose chases. Like they didn't protect or help anyone. They just hurt across the board. Now, of course, you can say, well, Gary Gensler is gone. Yeah, he got to ride off into the sunset and he has a teaching job at MIT. Like that doesn't sound like a penalty for not doing your job on behalf of the American people to me. I'm telling you, this is something, look, I don't care if it's 10, 15 years from now. We're going to treat this like a murder case. I don't care if it's 10 or 15 years from now, 2 or 3 presidents later. I am going to be pushing for the SEC of this time, the CFTC, to face treasonous charges, something along those lines. You're not just allowed to do this to American people and just disappear. All right. If this is a foreigner doing this is a Russian doing this, right? Let us find out the SEC had a bunch of Russians in it and this is what's been happening the last 4 to 6 years. We'd be ready to go to war, right? But since it's not a bunch of Russians, it's just Americans effing over other Americans. It's all good, right? Absolutely not. Shout out to Cameron Winklevoss for being as loud and outspoken as he is. If you remember the news story, tried to play them years ago because they didn't have, they didn't have factual information to show that Operation Choke Point was real, or that banks and governments were against them. They didn't have the factual information to show the reporter on the spot, but this has cleared their name and their company as well. So shout out to them. And SEC, my. How many times can you lose in a 2-week span? I mean, y'all looking like the old Detroit Lions right now. We about to go 1-17, 1-16. Are we gonna get a dub this year or no? Goodness gracious. Talked about this the other day, so I won't go into super rehashing it, but I want to point it out. Scammers use fake crypto jobs. Grass call meeting app to drain wallets. A cybercrime group has launched a complex social engineering scheme with fake crypto job ads, a fake firm, and a malicious meeting app. So again, I won't go into detail about this because I've said it so many times. And I swear, I don't know who's listening to who. Am I reading Cointelegraph articles or are they listening to me and writing articles? But regardless, the fact of the matter is that this is real, folks. These companies out here, this one having a fake app, it looks like they had an actual fake app that let you job search or something. I'm not going to go through an entire story, but the bottom line is that yes, they are taking it that far. Fake apps, fake offices, fake CEOs. I think this company had a whole fake LinkedIn profile with fake executives and all that other stuff. And when I say fake, I don't mean fake as in this is an AI generated person. No, I mean fake as in they will put either someone's wrong face there or a real person's face there, and have someone to call on the line. They'll have somebody to video chat you, right? They'll have people to actually talk to you. They'll invite you into their office, right? What city are you in? Oh, we got offices there. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we will tonight. They'll get a virtual office popped up overnight and keep you there for a week. Okay. You have to remember in this space, we're talking about one victim could be a few $100,000. That operation I just explained to have a fake office, fake assistant, fake email server, fake phone number. I mean, you're looking at a $5,000 to $10,000 investment on the high end, not that much. And you're looking at getting 100 to 200K of a person on the back end. Not to mention if you get an actual company or organization, right? You get millions. So it's definitely worth the time and effort, which is why they're doing it. And again, you just have to be careful. I think this one actually really sucks because I actually do want to see. I think this one hit somewhere mainstream. I'm not sure if it hit the App Store or what. So it does suck when you can get something as popular as this one out there. Here you can see the difference right here. I guess this is the difference right here. So it had the same logo, same everything. Very difficult to tell. So I get it. These things are very difficult to tell, but that is why you have to take your time in this space. If logging on takes you 5 or 10 minutes, if it takes you an extra 20 minutes to do some research, if it takes more time, take the time because again, these things are becoming so well done. It's going to be hard to tell if you're just skimming through everything and clicking and going. Like that is how you get all your crypto stolen. And then it's like 6 months or whatever months later, and you're like, I don't know how a hacker got into my stuff. And it's like, you probably click on something a while back ago. They've been sitting there waiting for the right opportunity and they took it. So be leery about that. All right. Last but not least, talk. And then this is what I'm saying. This is a good news one, but we've seen it happen on the bad news side so many times. And that's former congressmen joining a private crypto company. Former Congressman McHenry to join A16Z as senior advisor. Former Congressman Patrick McHenry, who advocated for crypto in the last few years of his political career, is joining VC firm A16 as a senior advisor. And again, this works the opposite way as well. Again, who's the guy? I'll just put it right quick. The guy who made the bit license. Let me see. It's Ben something. Bit license, Ben. Bit license in New York. Creator, Ben something. What is his name? Benjamin Lawsky. There it is. Yeah, Benjamin Lawsky, the former regulator who created the New York bit license in 2015, went to create his own consulting firm right after he created that license, where he didn't let no one get it. And then his consulting firm started working with only the crypto companies that magically were able to get the bit license. So yeah, this I always call him the rat face. He got a rat face too. This is one of the first regulators who decided to use his position for negativity. All right. So essentially, he developed this whole architecture of needing licenses and compliance in New York City alone, not the whole United States. Then he quit his job as a public servant, started his own consulting business, and then started working for the only companies that are allowed to have the bid license because they weren't giving it to everyone. They were only giving it to a select few, and those select few ended up being the companies he was worked for. The biggest one being NYDIG, which raised $230 million in 6 separate fund sales. That was one of the biggest ones that he just hopped on over to and was able to get a bid license. So this is the first guy who's done it. It's been many more since then, regulators and politicians who decide to set unfair regulations and precedent and then literally just quit and say, all right, and now I'm going to show the world how to utilize his unfair regulations and precedent. So again, this is the newest person doing it. Doesn't make it okay. I know it will continue to happen, but this is my pushback to the House committee with the Democrats House committee and Licardo or whatever from California. He's like, well, politicians and everyone shouldn't be allowed to profit off digital assets. That's what he said. Profit off of digital assets. This is profiting off of digital assets. You don't get to make rules and laws and then be like, all right, I'm out, y'all. And then go work for the companies you made the rules and laws for. That is like, do I really got to point out how crazy that is? Like, do I have to point that out? That makes entirely no sense at all. But again, this is what we're dealing with in the space right now. The revolving door. We'll see more of it. We'll see how these laws will hold up. We'll see if they can stop the politicians from having meme coins. I don't see it happening. I can see it happening in the short term to make sure Trump doesn't pull apart too. But long term, these politicians will have their meme coins. All right. Other than that, that is the show for the day. And of course, at the very end, the chat decided to work hilarious. Quick shout outs. Oh, Matt, Carol, B989, Price Cobbs, Saber Save, Shanti Edwards, Jake, Did I see that ZK roll-up is happening on Bitcoin? Game changer. Oh, I didn't, but yeah, we're about to get those ZK roll-ups. Oh man, Bitcoin is going to have that security feature in no time, or that privacy feature in no time. Donald Rump said, remember, rewards are phenomenal, hilarious. Hematosis, good morning, Price Cobbs, the principal, good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, and last but not least, folks, tomorrow I will not be on the show. I guess it's a large day where everybody's saying we're gonna stay away from some of the internet and some of this internet buying. So I'm gonna be away from the show tomorrow, but I shall be back on Monday with some more news. Make sure you smash a like and share, and I'll see you all then. Cheers.